Hello everyone, for those watching me for the very first time, welcome to Asedoskitchen, and to my amazing subscribers, welcome back. As you may have noticed, Sudanese cooking is heavily meat-based. However, growing vegetarian and vegan populations means looking for ways to make some of the much-loved Sudanese dishes vegan-friendly. So today I am making mulabamia mofruka without meat. Please find the ingredient list in the description box below because I will dive right into the video. I start by adding roughly 2 to 3 cups of boiled water in a pot. I am using hot water to shorten the cooking time, but you can add cold water and bring it to a boil. I add my onion, oil, vegetable stock powder and coriander powder, followed by the fresh okra. I allow this to boil uncovered so that the okra does not boil over. I also stir it occasionally to prevent the okra from getting caught at the bottom of the pot and burning. When the okra is about halfway cooked, I add 2 to 3 sprigs of fresh dill. You can also leave out the dill or add more than I am using according to your preference. Dry dill or dill paste would do if you don't have the fresh one. I mix this in and continue cooking the okra. At this point, the okra is almost ready, so I add garlic paste and cumin powder to give it time to cook properly before blending. Ensure that you add this at least 8 to 10 minutes before blending, because once you blend the stew, you don't want it to keep cooking and lose the slime. Once the okra is blended, adjust the water level if needed, check the seasoning and add salt to taste. Then bring the okra to a boil and turn the heat off. The stew is now ready to serve. It was served with asida or ugali, but can also be eaten with kisra or injera. Bamia tabikh is a Sudanese okra stew. It is usually cooked in a meat stew with a thick onion base mixed with tomato paste, garlic, and a blend of spices. However, this time I am cooking a vegan version of this dish. Please stick around to the end of this video to see how quick and easy it is to prepare. I heat some oil and fry the onions. Before the onions are browned or just as they start to turn golden, I add the tomatoes. I fry the two until they soften. Then I add tomato paste and stir it to combine before adding water. Adding the tomato paste early helps reduce its tangy taste. I add vegeta powder, coriander powder, a cinnamon stick, and black pepper to taste. Stir to combine and cook this for 15 minutes or until the water has reduced. For this recipe, I am using frozen okra, but you can use fresh okra. All these ingredients and quantities used are listed in the description box. I now add the okra, cumin powder, and garlic paste. I add a little water and cook this for 15 minutes or until the okra is cooked to my liking. I checked the seasoning and didn't add any salt or seasoning as it tasted great as it was. However, feel free to adjust the seasoning to your taste. As you can see here, the okra is well cooked, so I turn the heat off and serve. We had it with bread and it also goes well with rice, kisra or injera. Kindly like and share this video to help push it in front of a wider audience. Most Sudanese and South Sudanese dishes are prepared with meat. However, that should not stop you from making vegan and vegetarian friendly versions. Today I am making khudra or molokhia tabir without meat. Please find the full ingredient list in the description box as I will go right into the steps of making this delicious vegan dish. I begin by heating some oil, then I add my onions. I saute the onions and add tomato paste before the onions turn brown. Then I add water, black pepper, coriander powder, vegetable stock powder, garlic paste, stir to combine and cook it until the onions have softened. Once the onions have softened, I add cumin powder and molokhia. I used 2 packets of this frozen molokhia, which I defrosted beforehand to quicken the cooking process. I mix it well for it to be incorporated into the stew. Then I cook this covered on low heat for 10 minutes. At this point, I take off the lid and allow the molokhia to cook for a little while with the lid off. Doing this will help the stew thicken because the steam is not being trapped in the pot. I now taste the stew and add salt to taste and continue stirring it. I proceed to cook this for a few minutes to allow the salt to blend in properly. Then the stew is ready to serve. It can be served with kisra, injera, bread or rice, but on this occasion I served it with rice. Hello everyone, in today's video I am making Rijla inspired lentil and spinach stew. This is a Sudanese stew which is easy to prepare and super delicious. Spinach and lentils are a great combination, and this time I am making a vegan version of this dish. The ingredients for this dish are as listed on the screen and will also be in the description box below, so don't forget to check it out. I heat some oil and fry the onions. When the onions are slightly browned, I add tomatoes, water, and cook this covered until the tomatoes soften or the water is reduced. At this point I add the red lentils and roughly 4 cups of water. Then I add black pepper to taste and coriander powder and cook this covered until the water is reduced. The lentils are almost ready, so I add the spinach. I add tomato paste, garlic paste, and vegetable stock powder. Mix this to combine and cook this covered for about 8 minutes. I now add cumin powder and adjust the salt to my liking. Then I turn the heat down and let it cook for another 4 to 5 minutes to allow the salt and cumin powder to blend in well. The stew is now ready. It can be served with kisra, injera, rice, bread or chapati. Kindly try this recipe and let us know how you went in the comments section. If you like this recipe, please give the video a thumbs up. In this video, I am showing you how I prepare silver beet and peanut butter stew. The ingredients for this recipe are silver beet, onion, tomato, cooking oil, vegetable stock powder, cumin powder, and peanut butter. I begin by washing the silver beet, then I chop the onions and tomatoes and the silver beets. To shorten the length of this video, I will not go too much into detail on how I cut the silver beet. I will upload a separate video showing you how I do this. Once I am done prepping my ingredients, it does not take too much time to cook this dish. I heat some oil and add the onions. I saute them until they are translucent, then I add the tomatoes. I add water to the pot and cook this covered until the water reduces and the onions and tomatoes have softened. It is now time to add the silver beet, so I add it to the pot, lower the heat level and cover it for a minute so that the steam can help soften the silver beet. This makes it easier for me to mix it. I now mix the silver beet and add some vegetable stock powder. I continue mixing to ensure that the vegetable stock powder is fully incorporated into the silver beet. Once this is done, I add peanut butter. Add water if the peanut butter is too thick. The peanut butter is well incorporated now, so I add my cumin powder. Since it is still thicker than I want, I add some water and cook this covered for 5 minutes to allow the peanut butter and cumin powder to cook properly. This ensures that this blend into the stew well. I forgot to use garlic this time, but you can add it in at this point. The stew is now ready to serve. Serve this with your favorite staple. I served it with rice, but it also goes well with kisra, injera or bread. Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I am back with another vegan recipe. Do you like mula bamia tabir but are not a fan of meat? Would you like to know how to prepare bamia without meat? If you answered yes to any of these questions, keep watching to the end and I'll show you one of the ways I prepare this dish. This simple vegan okra stew is cooked with carrots and potatoes. The ingredients are listed on screen and I will put a detailed ingredient list in the description box below. So let's get cooking. I start by heating some oil in a pot and add the onions. I saute them until they are translucent, add the tomatoes and continue sauteing the two. Once the tomatoes soften, I add the carrots and stir for 2 minutes before adding the potatoes. I add vegetable stock powder and tomato paste and stir. At this point, I also add garlic paste, stir, followed by coriander powder and black pepper. I add a little water and cook this covered on low heat for 5 minutes. Once this is done, I add a packet of frozen okra. The stew is almost ready, so I add cumin powder, a little bit of water and cook this covered until the okra softens. I now check the seasoning and add some salt to taste, then cover and lower the heat until the okra is fully cooked. The bamia is now ready to serve with your favorite staple. I served it with rice, but it can also go well with bread, kisra or chapati. If you try this recipe, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you would like to watch more of my recipes, remember to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to ensure that you're notified every time I post a new recipe. Kindly give this video a thumbs up and share it as a way to support my channel. And for comments, suggestions or questions, please write them down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and bye for now. I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.